Hi everyone, it's me again. um, Today I wanted to talk about a theme that seems to be quite problematic to some people out there, and it's about changing a deck to make it your own. And I have to admit I'm pretty fearless about that because I perceive a deck to be a tool. It's a tool to lighten things that are hidden in the dark. It's a tool to kind of get a glimpse of what is going on in the unconsciousness. It's just a tool to me. I mean, of course, it's always usually a stunning work of art, but still it's a tool. So my main goal has to be that I am able to work with it. Because I just don't want to only look at the cards because they are beautiful. I want to be able to work with them. I am, well, pretty based on the Rider-Waite-Smith tradition, I have to say. Although I don't own a Rider-Waite-Smith deck, but I do own some Rider-Waite-Smith clones. So usually if I open a box with a Rider-Waite-Smith clone or with a deck that is based on Rider-Waite-Smith, I can work with it straight away. So it might be this batch here, this batch of cards. So I have the Steampunk Tarot here, it's the Llewellyn Tarot, the Druidcraft Tarot, and the Line Strider Tarot. It's all pretty Rider-Waite-Smith based, I have to say. So I don't have to work with this deck a lot or to kind of connect with this deck a lot to be able to work with it. And I did some changes to these cards as well, but in this case, it's mainly for aesthetical reasons. So, for example, I trimmed the Druidcraft Tarot, or I trimmed the Llewellyn Tarot, which I really love. Come on, focus. Hello. It doesn't want to focus right now. Nah, here we go. So isn't this beautiful without the borders? And it's been really thick and ugly borders, I have to say that. So I'm glad I trimmed it. I did some more changes to the Line Strider Tarot because I didn't trim it, but I just added, like you can see here in this card, I added just a hint of color to the fox. And in some of the other cards and in this card as well, I added in some pupils because I wasn't able to see them beforehand and I was slightly creeped out by that. So I needed eyes, I needed the pupils to be able to work with the deck, so I just, well, added them in because it's my tool. I have to work with it. And I needed a hint of color with this card specifically because, I mean, it's the Ace of Wands. It needs to be alive. It needs to be energetic. And beforehand, the fox looked slightly dead, which definitely isn't an Ace of Wands. So that's why I needed this hint of color here. But like I said, those changes, mainly aesthetical reasons. This one here is the Shadowscape Tarot. Again, just for aesthetical reasons, I trimmed it, although the borders were really unobtrusive, I have to say that. So I think I was just in a trimming mood, I think, but I still love it. I love it a lot without the borders. So again, aesthetical reasons. I could have worked with it even with the borders. So those changes weren't, well, necessary to be able to work with the decks. Then this batch of cards here is decks that are, well, slightly based on Rider-Waite-Smith, but they add quite a lot new stuff to the table. So this is the Osho Zen Tarot, this is the Luli Lascott, the Tarot of the Hidden Realms, and the Tarot of Transformation. And with these cards, well, I couldn't just take them out of the box and work with them straight because it needed some time to get used to these cards. But even from the very beginning, when I first looked at all the cards, when I first shuffled the cards, I had this very strong feeling that everything was in the right place. Everything, it just felt right. The deck felt right to me. So I knew that it was me who had to, well, do some work in order to connect with the cards and to understand the cards. So I read the books with these two, and I just love them, and I definitely can work with those decks. I haven't done it with these two because I just haven't had the time yet. And but I still feel that if I just put some work in it, if I just, well, spend some time with it, these decks will be fine just the way they are. This deck up here is my very first deck. It's been the tarot of the Sacred Circle tarot. I got it in German, so it's das Tarot der neuen Hexen. And to be honest, I love the book, so I can work with it just, well, laying out the cards and then pick out the book and read about every card, because I've never really, well, I never was able to connect with the deck to read it intuitively. So I have to say I use it quite rarely. But still, because it's my first, I never was able to give it away. I still have to have it. And then there's this little guy here, which is the Fairy Lights Tarot. And with this deck, well, to say it's based on Rider-Waite-Smith, I don't know. I mean, some of the meanings are quite similar. A lot of them differ hugely. But even though I spent some time with it, even though I read the little white book, even though I really tried to connect to the cards, there wasn't a way for me to connect with them. I wasn't able to use the deck. The deck remained silent. It triggered nothing in me. And I was quite disappointed, I have to say. And when I looked through the cards, I mean, I love the idea of the divided images. I loved some of the artwork, not all of them. But just except for maybe a handful of cards, there wasn't any response in me to those cards. But when I looked through them, I, like with every other card, I had a feeling, well, this card is a Rider-Waite-Smith card, but it's placed in the wrong order. It's misplaced. And the card I had this feeling the strongest has been, no, not this one, this one. It has been the Empress. This card is in the deck is the Six of Wands, I believe. But to me, when I looked through the cards and I looked at this specific card, it just screamed at the top of its lungs. It screamed, I'm the Empress. And I mean, just look at it. It's one of my favorite Empresses ever. I really, really love this card. So I thought about, well, rearranging the cards. And I have to say, for once, I hesitated a bit because I thought this is going to be a major change to a deck. And I hadn't done that before. I mean, I trimmed them. Like I said, with the Line Strider Tarot, which I got after the Fairy Lights, I just painted in some of the pupils, but that's it. I never rearranged the deck. So, well, I hesitated. But then again, I thought, what's the option? Either I am able to work with the deck, and for that, I might have to rearrange it, or I'm going to ditch it, because it's still a tool, and I'm not collecting decks just for the sake of collecting. At least I'm not now. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen, but for now, every deck that I own, I'm using this deck for different purposes, but I'm using it. So I wanted to be able to use this deck as well, and so I thought, okay, what the hell? Let's try it. And I started rearranging and swapping cards. So that's what I wanted to talk about in this video. It's about, well, just going a step further in order to make a deck your own. I wanted to give you some examples of the changes I did to this deck. As you can see, I trimmed it as well, but I did that not because I didn't like the borders, but because of my changes I did to the deck, because of the new order I put the cards in. I was really distracted by the old titles of the cards. So I really had to cut them, I had to trim them in order to get rid of the old titles. So that's the only reason why I trimmed this deck. Like I said, this is my Empress. It's the former Six of Wands. This one here is, I believe it's the King of Swords, the former King of Swords, because to me it's the Emperor. Just look at him. He seems so wise and strong and energetic, and he's just, I just love the energy. To me, he's a perfect Emperor. This one here, the first thing I had to think about when I saw this card was the Two of Wands. Just because the way she's holding this globe just reminded me strongly of the Rider-Waite-Smith cards. So that's why I had to change this one here to the Two of Wands. I believe it had been the Seven of Pentacles, but I just had to look that up because I couldn't remember. Yes, it's the Seven of Pentacles. So in this case, I didn't change it because of a feeling it evoked or a memory or whatever. I just changed it because I was highly reminded of a Rider-Waite-Smith picture. So that's why I changed it. It's a different thing with this one, which is my personal Six of Wands. Because to me, it's all about triumph. This card is about success. It's about reaching a goal. I mean, this guy is just reaching the oasis in the middle of the night. And it's, or maybe in an eclipse. But still, it's awesome that he is able to reach it. And so that's my personal Six of Wands. I really have to look what it was beforehand. Let me see. Oh, it's the Two of Wands. This one's the Two of Wands, but I really can't see it in that. It's my Six of Wands. I only can see it as a Six of Wands now. And in this case, it's because of the feelings this picture evokes in me. So I did the changes either because of, well, a feeling triggered or a memory triggered by a card, or because it reminded me of a Rider-Waite-Smith card. And to be honest, almost all of the cards just clicked into place immediately. So this card here, for example, is my personal Four of Swords. It's about rest. It's about getting a clear head. It's about taking your time. Isn't it beautiful? And it had been the Five of Cups. But to me, it's the Four of Swords. This one here, I see a little fae, or a little fairy in this case, trying to steal an egg. A sneaky little fae. And to me, that's the Seven of Swords. That's the Seven of Swords energy. But originally, it had been, let me look it up, it's the Four of Wands. I really can't see the Four of Wands. I can't see any celebratory. So maybe I ditched the Little White Book, I have to say that. So probably there was some different meaning written down in the Little White Book. But to me, just looking at this card, it's such a Seven of Swords energy that I just had to swap the cards. So this is my personal Seven of Swords. This one here, this one is the Eight of Pentacles originally, but to me it's the Eight of Swords. She looks quite stuck up there. Like she's at the very edge of the cliff, almost tumbling down. And there is, well, the heavies, oh my goodness, the waves are quite high down there. So that's not a calm surface. So to me, that's the Eight of Swords. Just another example. This is my personal Three of Swords, whereas according to the artist, this is the Ten of Cups. I know they changed the meaning in the Little White Book. I think it was something about ending of a cycle or something. Like the birds leaving and they'll come back next spring. But I really can't see it. I see despair and heartache and feeling disconnected to the world and loss, and it just feels so sad and lonely. And so to me, this is the perfect Three of Swords. This one here is my personal Five of Cups. Originally, it's been the Four of Swords. So this one is the original Four of Swords, whereas this one here, just let me take it out once more, is my personal Four of Swords. Mine, original. To me, this one is the Five of Cups. It's about letting go. It's about regret. Well, or regretful, no. It's about not wanting to let go, but still have to let go. So she just drops it. She drops whatever she needed to get rid of. So this is my personal Five of Cups. Just two more, then I'm done with all the examples, and the video is already getting pretty long. I'm sorry about that. So this is my personal Eight of Cups. It's my personal starting a journey, ending of a cycle, going inwards, finding truth, starting something new. I can sense that in this card. And this one here is my personal Eight of Pentacles. It's about, well, training. It's about learning. It's about concentration. It's about just getting in there and investing time, investing energy to get better in whatever you are doing. So I really like this card now, and I like the way it kind of works together with its partner, which is the High Priestess. And I love that, if I remember it right, it's there's something about that you have to live your life in order to learn the things you can learn by the High Priestess. So it's not like the High Priestess can teach you everything she knows, like maybe a crone could, but you have to live it. And I love the way that she's reading a book while this girl is training, while this girl is living life. It's just, I just love how these two connect now. So these are just some examples on how I did change this deck and how it now kind of, well, speaks to me. And now I am able to read with it. And that was just the main goal. Because, like I said, I need some reaction to a deck. I need some response in me. If a deck remains silent, it's the wrong deck for me. And it doesn't need to be a specific response. It doesn't need to be good or bad or whatever, because there has been one card I reacted to strongly in this deck the first time I saw it, which has been the Strength card. And I really, really hate this card. From the bottom of my heart, I hate this card. But still, because of that response, I can work with this card. Because of that response, I can ask myself, why do I hate this card so much? What does this card need to tell me? What can I learn from this card? Even if it's a negative example for something, but I still can get something out of this card. Whereas if a deck remains silent, I can't work with it. So to me, I'm not advising you, or I'm not telling you to just go through your decks and just start trimming them or start painting on them or start rearranging them. That's not what I intend to do with this video, but I just wanted to say that just listen to your intuition, listen to your feelings about a deck, and then just trust yourself. And if you feel that in order to make a deck work for you, you have to do some changes to it, then just go with it. Just do it. Because you are right. If you feel that, you are right. Don't listen to what I say. Don't listen to what anybody else says. Just listen to yourself and do whatever you feel you need to do. So that's it. That's me rambling for, oh my goodness, over 20 minutes now. I'm so sorry. So I'll just end it here, and I wish you all a very nice day today, and enjoy the sunshine if you have some, because here's beautiful out right now. So I'm going to go out now. Okay, I wish you a nice day. Bye.